Welcome to the show, wrestling fans. Let's get into the WWE news. Big, huge news going on. There's big rumors WWE is still planning the club versus the Shield for late 2016. Articles in the description of you guys below. Don't forget to please follow me on Twitter at the Talk Show 101. I'll leave the link in the description for you guys below. Go follow me, go tweet me. Now, before the club and the Shield can share a WWE ring, there's a lot of factors that must come together for 6 or more men to even get to that point on WWE television. For starters, there's a question of when Finn Balor will be debuting, on the main roster. When he's going to be a factor in this feud. Now, we know that Balor is coming to the main roster via the draft. You guys know I reported that on my show that Finn Balor was debuting on the main roster because he will be part of the WWE draft. So he's going to fit in with the club, ? According to the report, Vince McMahon wants the club stable to become a much stronger before a feud with the Shield, which makes sense. Now, in my opinion, if you guys know what's going on, that the Shield and the club were going to be part of a pay-per-view that was supposed to come back this year. It was called War Games, and it was going to have 2 rings with 2 cages, like a big, like when WCW had that War Game pay-per-view, and they had 2 rings, and they had a big steel, a cage around it, and it was going to be the Shield versus the club, the Bullet Club. That's what they were planning on doing, having a War Game since the brand extension was coming around. I reported that on my show that was going to happen. That's what the plan was, to have a War Games between the Shield and the club. And that would have been an awesome match this year. And I said they should have done it at Survivor Series, It would have been, because this is a dream match now, I think, that people want to see now. The Shield's been around for so long, and now people want to see this match happen. People like, this is a dream match I want to see. I want to see the Shield versus the club. It's a huge dream match, man. People are talking about it. People want to see it happen. Now, we all know the brand extension is coming as well, so that's why they're still planning it, because now, since the brand extension's coming across now, I have an idea here. Why don't they have, one of the Shield or the club, doesn't matter, one goes on Raw and one goes on SmackDown, and then sometime, late this year, or I say do it at WrestleMania, Raw versus SmackDown. The Shield represents the SmackDown, and the club represents Raw, and you got Raw versus SmackDown. The Shield versus the club. But you're going to have more members, in my opinion, to have this big, huge match, because, Finn Balor were definitely going to be part of the club. That's 4 people. You're going to have another person, I think. Same thing with the Shield. The Shield has 3 people. So they're going to have another member part of the Shield. So now you have Raw versus SmackDown. But make it a WrestleMania dream match, okay? I want to do it late 2016. I would do it for a WrestleMania pay-per-view, WrestleMania is in Florida next year, Miami. WrestleMania 33, the Shield versus the club. WrestleMania, Raw versus SmackDown. Since the brand extension is coming, you got Raw and SmackDown. There you go. That's a dream match. Raw versus SmackDown. Who is going to be the better brand? Who's going to be the better show? You got your best group right there, the Shield for SmackDown, and you got the best group for Raw, representing Raw, and that is the club. And whoever wins will be the better brand, will be the better show for WrestleMania. That's what I think they should do. You guys let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think about that? Okay? Makes sense. Now, the trio of Styles, Carl Anderson, and Lack Ellis have a history together, New Japan Pro Wrestling. But they need to build up for the WWE Universe to see their chemistry and dominance. Well, we know about, a lot of people know who know you know, who these guys are from Japan. We know that these guys are awesome. We know that they're good performers. We know they're good in the ring. The whole thing between Styles and Cena, I didn't like that. I didn't like that feud. I didn't like the match, you know. I don't like the outcome of it. But I'm happy Styles beat John Cena because I don't like John Cena. I respect him, but I don't like him. Now, there's also a possibility of WWE adding more members to the club, which would complicate matters and potential feud with the Shield. Finn Balor is one factor. We know that already. The club, you know, the clique. But there's names like Samoa Joe and Nakamura have also been brought up as a potential new members of the group. Now, when they say there's other names like Samoa Joe and Nakamura coming up to be part of the group, I would take that as a rumor. But in my opinion, I would definitely take Shinsuke Nakamura instead of Samoa Joe. I'm not a huge fan of Samoa Joe. I respect him, though. I don't like him. I'm not a huge fan of this guy, but I like Nakamura, man. What he does in NXT is phenomenal. He's good in the ring. He's a good performer. The crowd loves him. He loves the crowd. He loves the fans. And that guy is money. That guy has money written all over him. So I would want to put Nakamura in the club. You know, he has it all, man. He has the whole package, okay? What he does in that ring is phenomenal. He could be a technical wrestler. He could be any kind of, you know, wrestler in that ring, and he proves it. He's a hard worker, too. So I would put Shinsuke Nakamura in this group instead of Samoa Joe. But that's just my opinion. Now, there's also a possibility of WWE adding more members at the club. Okay. Needless to say, WWE is still making a decision on how about to book the club. Okay. Also, a possible feud between the Shield will have to be off until after the feud with John Cena is over. New members are added, and the club is strong, stable in WWE. Now, the club is only half the feud. The other half is reforming the Shield, which is no easy considering the current state of WWE. The current WWE Champion Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns are still busy at the moment with a triple threat match at Battleground, which that match should not be happening. It shouldn't be taking place because, ladies and gentlemen, Roman Reigns is not there to build this dream match. People have been waiting for this match, you know, when the Shield was going. They wanted this match to happen when they broke up, okay? And now it's happening at Battleground, which I would have done the match at SummerSlam. I would not do it at Battleground. I would do that at SummerSlam because it's your big pay-per-view of the summer. Not just WrestleMania and Royal Rumble. But SummerSlam is a huge factor and a huge moneymaker pay-per-view. And you should be doing it. You should be doing that at SummerSlam. That was my thoughts. They should have done it. They should not do that at Battleground. Battleground is a waste of pay-per-view. It's a waste of time, waste of space, waste of money to build have this huge match on a stupid gimmick pay-per-view. Now, the Shield is feuding right now, but it's not easy to wear. The draft is a potential breakup to Shield, but there's always ways for the WWE to get all three men on Raw or SmackDown together. I would separate them, you know, like I said previously. Ambrose is the top face in the company. The WWE Universe is begging for Rollins to turn face. I want him. He should have turned babyface when he came back. When Rollins came back on Raw, he should have came back as a babyface. When Triple H came back in 2002, he had that big, huge music return. I mean, it was amazing comeback. They should have done that for Seth Rollins, and they didn't. They turned him heel again, which I disagree with that. He should have turned babyface. And Reigns is technically a good guy, despite his dynamic with the fans. The point of a Shield reunion would get all three men on the same page that the club were getting too strong. The Hounds of Justice has to reset the established order of WWE. It's complex as how a feud would begin between the two stables. But WWE hasn't given up on the potential rivalry these two great trios. Originally, it was rumored that the club versus Shield would take place at Battleground. That was the rumor going around, which I would not have done that because it's the worst time to do it. It's a bad pay-per-view. To do that match, I would have done it at SummerSlam or a Survivor Series because, you know, SummerSlam basically because it's a huge pay-per-view, you know. Now, clearly it's not happening in 2 weeks. However, Survivor Series isn't much of a stretch if WWE officials Vince McMahon are serious about this feud. There is no doubt that we'll see the club versus the Shield someday. The question is, when WWE pull the trigger and give us the feud of a lifetime? There's your huge episode, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Wrestling Talk Show's Creative Conversation, episode number 22, guys. Until then, enjoy your 4th of July, eat some good food, and I'll see you on the next show. Subscribe.